A few weeks ago now, I showed you guys some otherwise odd mods for Fallout 4, the kind of mods that actually are pretty popular, but I don't tend to cover on this channel. It's pretty enlightening to me to actually see, one, how much quality is in that space and how much of it I have been ignoring, but even two, I just think a lot of people are interested in that kind of thing. So with that in mind, I'm actually taking a deeper dive, looking at even more of some of the bizarre mods that have come out over the past 8 or so months for Fallout 4, but definitely with more of a focus of recent releases, of which several are very interesting. Now, to be abundantly clear with this video, like I tried to be with the last one, I don't really care what kind of mods you use for Fallout 4. I might call these mods odd, bizarre, even a little bit weird, but that's more to me, to the kind of content I cover on this channel. But at the end of the day, it's your game, you can mod it however you'd like, and that's why there'll be links to everything I show you down below in the description if you'd like to download it for yourself. Although I would be wary where you actually open some of those links. Definitely make sure there's no one standing behind you for some of them. So kicking things off, we have a very interesting and well done mod, that with MAID, a brand new Assaultron. This mod's very unique in that it's actually taking advantage of one of the most underutilized workbenches in Fallout 4, that with the robot crafting workbench. In essence, after downloading this mod, you will have a totally new option for a type of robot that you can create, that with a MAID, standing for Motorized Artificial Intelligent Doll. The way this is set up, you could actually assign a base unit to each of the various components of the robot frame. When you actually do all of that, you'll get something looking like this. Obviously, not probably what you were going for or even hoping for, but after establishing this base, you could actually start adding armor pieces. And this is where the very interesting part of this mod does come in, as it has quite a bit of customization. So you can make it into a fully fledged little robot. It is using the Assaultron base, so it does act in a similar way, but otherwise it obviously looks quite a bit different. And actually, speaking of looks, it is pretty high quality. Although I'm not thematically necessarily someone who would use this mod, as far as the quality of the materials, the textures, the models, it's all really well done. Even further, again, there are several configuration options. You can customize various things, even making it so your MAID has an eye patch, kind of like a pirate. And while in the background I'm showing you some of the more appropriate or safe for work configurations, you definitely can go for a more lewd approach with this one if you wanted that. Even further, just something I kind of found to be funny about this mod is there's actually no hands included with it. So for the hand area, you actually do use all of the default options, leading to some very interesting or otherwise comical configurations, and I think it just really completes this mod. But once the configuration is done, it is going to act like pretty much any other robot you do create in Fallout 4. You can have the MAID follow you around, hold your items, or whatever you want to do with it. And all in all, it is an extremely well done mod. There are very few mods taking advantage of the robot workbench, and this one does so in a very complete and fulfilling way. But then for the next mod in this video, we're doing a throwback to the original video, and really the cornerstone that inspired this entire series, that with AnimeRace Nanakochan. Yeah, I probably butchered that. Since my original coverage of this mod, which I will have linked in the eye if you did miss it, it has received several updates, by which actually contain several new customization options that I'm sure several of you will enjoy. Also, just as an update as to how well this mod is doing, it is now the most downloaded mod as far as total downloads go for Fallout 4 in 2019. And like, it's not even close, being 20,000 downloads ahead of Sim Settlements. And if you're not familiar with it, basically it just allows you to change the way characters look, whether it be your own character, you could even do this to other NPCs. In this new update, it's going to bring several new face options, so you could have almost a more serious looking face. The mod author describes it as being a bit more akin to certain types of anime. So you have those two new face options, but even further, you actually have several other interesting things, like ears, because of course that's a thing. Basically now there also is an option when assigning hair to have a hairstyle containing ears. You could still change the color of the hair and other customization options, but yeah, if you wanted to wander around while looking like an anime character with ears specifically, that can be done. Your character can have glasses now if you wanted to go for that look, but even further there are other new hairstyles, although fairly similar to some of the other options. All in all, it actually has become a fairly well fleshed out mod that does allow you quite a bit of additional customization on characters in Fallout 4. So then we actually have some shirts. So really this is two separate mods, but they're by the same mod author. They're fairly similar in nature, that being the Baggy TankTop as well as the V-neck t-shirt. Now originally you might be like, hey, why are you covering this? It seems like a fairly simple mod, not something I would necessarily cover on this channel. And one of the main reasons is just how massively popular and successful these mods are. When you actually look at unique downloads, these are the 7th and the 11th most downloaded mods in the past 8 months or so, getting notably more downloads than most other things you've probably downloaded. And that's not to say they're bad. In-game, they're both extremely high quality. You can definitely tell the mod author put a lot of time and effort into making these look good, and I think he wanted them to look pretty good on Fallout 4 characters specifically. Each does feature several variants with different things appearing on the t-shirt. There also is a cropped version of the baggy tank top in case you were going for that look. And to me with this one more, it's not that the mod itself is really all that bizarre. It's actually fairly normal. To me, it's just insane how popular these two mods are. And it definitely felt like something I should cover at some point. So then we're actually breaking a rule I somewhat established with this series, covering a mod that I've already covered. But honestly, it just felt so fitting for this video that I didn't want to pass up this opportunity. The mod in question is anatomically correct feral ghouls. And basically what it's going to do is take the feral ghouls in Fallout 4 and add some new features to them. Depending on the feral ghoul, it'll get one or the other. And although for some feral ghouls it's definitely more obvious, it also is present on the clothed version of these. And I find this mod in particular interesting as it's one of those morbid reality mods. One of those ways to make Fallout 4 definitely a bit weirder. Now as you encounter feral ghouls, the experience will be a lot more notable and distinctive for a couple of reasons. But also realistically, if there were real life feral ghouls, this would be a thing. They would in all likelihood be anatomically correct. So one that's not necessarily in the same vein as all the other ones. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on your interest. Maybe it is in the same vein for you, but still a high quality and cool one that does change up Fallout 4 in a distinctive way. But then last but not least, we do have CBP Physics. This being one of the most fascinating mods to me out of all of the ones I've shown you in this video. What CBP Physics is going to do is actually expand the physics of Fallout 4 to affect additional objects or really affect certain things more closely. And I mean, I feel like the footage really just speaks for itself. It really showcases the mod in its somewhat full glory. In reality, there are actually several mods doing a thing fairly similar to this. The reason this one in particular stood out to me is just how profound an impact or an effect it actually carries in game. It's like they turned up the physics to 11 while a lot of the other ones might be on a 6 or a 7. There's a lot of movement, and if you're playing the game just running around or seeing other people run around or interact around you, you'll definitely notice that you have this mod installed. Now again, if you guys did like one of the mods I showed you in this video, I will have it linked down below. I really want to emphasize the point that it's not meant to be a judgment. It's really fascinating to me because pretty much every mod I show you in this video is extremely well done. A mod author sat there for several hours creating something that is high quality, and although it might not be for everybody, there still is quite clearly a massive audience for this type of content, several of which are probably you watching this video right now. And one question I actually do have, is this something you'd want to see as almost a series? Naturally, I've been covering Fallout 4 mods for a long time, but pretty much through that entire time not covering these mods. I think it'd be pretty cool to do this maybe on a monthly basis, just looking at some of the other bizarre mods, both new releases as well as several of the old ones, all while trying to do it in a very kind of safe way. Like I'm downloading these all for scientific reasons only. Let me know in the comments down below. Either way, hopefully you guys did enjoy this one. I'm not entirely sure when you're watching this. I'm pre-recording this before leaving for E3. But yeah, with that being said, I thank you for watching again, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.
Switching to